We're going to do that. Yes, we're going to talk about that. We're going to definitely talk about that. I love that. Peace and Black Power. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Hotep. Namaste. Jambo. Ashe. All the greetings of love and light to the darkest minds of the light. Welcome to another stream, another Sister Sipdown. Yes, we're late, but y'all know we're on CPT time or CPT. I never ask anybody. Do you guys get offended by that? Because I do believe CPT is something real and scientific. But anyway, today we will be doing an open forum, but we do have a couple topics that I want to discuss and also the ladies want to discuss. But today you can just click the link and jump on and talk to us. I'm drinking a bubbly today, a bubbly grapefruit sparkling water. And I'm also having an energy drink, but it's not really energy like what you would think. It's like a tonic with like panic ginger, some other stuff. Anyway, ginseng, Panax ginseng. I said bad Panax ginger. It has ginger in it, blah, 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 la, la, la. It's going to be one of those Sister Sip Downs. Anyway, I'm going to pass it on over to, oh yeah, and I'm also drinking some smart water, alkaline water. I have a bunch of drinks around me. I'm going to pass this on over to my co-hosts, and they can let you know what they're sipping on, and then we can get to talking about what we want to talk about. Peace, Letitia and Sheikah. Sheikah, what are you drinking?
I'm not drinking anything right now.
Okay, this is Sister Sip Down, Sheikah. Don't fuck with me right now.
I know I usually have my wine, but I couldn't, go out. Not inviting you yesterday. So,
girl, if you don't stop, you know I'm on one right now, Sheikah. Well, what would you like to drink? If you could drink something, what would you be drinking?
Of course, I'd be drinking my Chardonnay. That's what I drink all the time. But I might get some ginger ale.
What are you doing with your skin? You said it before. Something's really looking good because you've been doing something with your skin.
It's the oil Olay vitamin C. It brightens like your dark spots and stuff. And so, like, my face is really uneven. Like here, it goes dark, and then my eyes are dark. Now, I have on concealer on my eyes still because they haven't lightened up all the way. But, yeah, vitamin C, that face wash, and I have the oil. So
yeah, you look good. You look prettier than you usually look.
Yeah, my skin's coming along. I'm working on it.
Yeah, good for you. Glow up, sis. Everybody get on your glow up. Hello, Letitia. How are you? What are you sipping on?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to get it open, but it's some infused lemonade, but it's being difficult right now.
Mind over matter.
Right?
Think it open. Will it open? Remember that one show, Lethal Weapon, that one movie? It's an oldie. My mom used to love to watch her some Danny Glover, y'all. Y'all don't remember that movie, Lethal Weapon?
Yeah.
Okay. My sister, I have an older sister, and she is hilarious. She used to say, because my mom would watch that, and there was a part where Mel Gibson's character was like in the water, I think, or something. Or in the club or something. I can't remember. But no, it wasn't a club. He was somewhere. And Danny Glover's character couldn't find it. So in the movie, Danny Glover's character was going around going, "Will me, Riggs." You don't remember that part? It's funny. Now you're gonna know. He was saying, "Will me, Riggs." The guy, okay, Mel Gibson's character was Riggs. And Danny Glover's character was going, "Will me, Riggs." Like he couldn't find it. So whenever my sister wanted to find it somewhere, like one time she was supposed to meet me at this club, she was like, will me. She was saying my name, which my name isn't really Napah, but I'm not going to tell you haters my name because I know you niggas are crazy. But it's funny because when you said you couldn't open it, I said, use your mind. Will it open? Did it get open? Did you open it?
Yes, I punctured it.
Told you.
Figured it out.
Perfect. Awesome. So we wanted to just peace to Benita, everybody in the chat. I love you. Thank you for being here. I know we're late, but it's not like you guys were standing outside somewhere waiting for us. You're just in the comfort of your home. I'll try to do better. Okay. So Sheikah, you saw that post that I did on Facebook, right? About the fitness. That's why you said you thought we were going to talk about fitness.
Oh no, you had text me that. So I
Oh,
need
okay.
to post though.
So I found something. I'm not going to use it because last time I used something, YouTube police came and Gestapo'd me all the way to, copyright claim and all that. But I saw something on the internet about Lifetime has a brilliant idea, and what they're doing is they are taking fitness trainers, real fitness coaches, and they're having the fitness coaches gain 40 pounds or more, I think, but 40 pounds, and then take their clients and go through the weight loss journey with their clients. There's so much going on with that. Like, first off, I super, super, super commend the fitness trainers who are doing that, like, to gain weight, and they have to gain the weight in 4 months. So it's a real, it's not the healthiest, it's not the healthiest thing to do, but let's be honest, it's not uncommon for people to do that, especially with, am I echoing again? Like, oh, I thought it was, I am hearing an echo. Anyway, so it's not uncommon, y'all know, right? Like, who can, what, I mean, there are people, I was just talking to the ladies backstage, and I'm getting a text message. Okay, all right. So I personally wanted to gain weight for some things, and so I started to work on gaining weight, with like supplements, eating more fat, eating more carbs, and then it worked. But I mean, I'm not gonna front. A little bit was COVID, but I'm not gonna say it was COVID. I mean, I'd say about 20% of it was COVID, and then the rest was just me. Like, yeah, I like this booty. But now I'm like, you know what? Now I'm in a phase where I'm like, I really don't want this. Like, I want to be back to my slender self. I haven't been slender for a long time. I haven't been slender since 2017, but I mean, the reason I'm talking about myself is I know what it's like to gain weight on purpose and then to be like, okay, I want to not be at this size. You know what I mean? Or maybe even if it's not on purpose, to gain weight and be like, I like the way I look. Because there was one video where one of the fitness trainers was like, she was so pretty, and I invited her on my show. I contacted her. She was like gaining the weight, and she's like, ooh, yeah. Because at first she was just tiny. She's like tiny, tiny. And she's like, ooh, I like my booty. Because who doesn't like to have a big booty? I don't know. Anybody? Right? She got you smiling. I see you both smiling. What do you guys think about this? Like,
I love a nice booty.
The weight gain.
You don't ever want to lose the booty when you gain or lose the weight. You don't ever want it to mess with the booty.
Right. And Shika, what about you? You want to jump in before I go on?
I don't know. It's like when I was more slender, I had a booty, but I didn't have like a booty. Like it was like flat, like not flat, but it was like bottom curvature type of thing. Like, what is that? But now being married, it comes out now from my waist and does that whole binocular. I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So walking kind of helped a little bit in that, because I was like, wait, I like feel it. What is that? I feel my booty. Like, what is going on? Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? The thing about the booty, I was like you too. I had that teardrop kind of. I've always had a nice booty. Like, it wasn't flat. Like, oh Lord, like long day flat. Long ass day. That meme. I never. But this is what happened with me. I was talking to someone, just talking, and he always was like, "Damn, I like that Ghanaian booty. Damn, we can't, girl, that Ghanaian booty, that Nigerian booty, and that Ghanaian booty. Bless those sisters, because that's some crazy ass and he was always like saying that, And me being who I am, I was like, oh, well, excuse me. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to try to get a booty and I'm going to, have a booty. And so for me, I always wanted to have a bigger booty, but everything else stay the way it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, duh, right? But and with me even now, the reason I haven't started I can lose weight like that, but I was like, if I lose weight, first thing that's gonna go is my booty, right? I mean, we got on a different subject. That's nice.
With me, it's my boobs. That's the first thing that goes. Like, it's like, goodbye. Can't live here anymore. And it's weird because I'm not little, but now I don't have boobs. It looks weird.
You think so? It's interesting because a lot of brothers are like,
you're frozen.
Oh, I think she's really, really froze. But yeah, I know what she said about working out and the first thing that goes is the butt. That is so true. It's irritating.
Yeah.
I wonder why it does that. I guess because the butt is the most fattiest area.
Yeah. Well, I started like this walk club. These principals, they have like a walk club. And yeah, that was the first thing that I noticed started to come down. But I was happy for it because I was like, what is this? Like, I have like Southern booties do that. And I was like, I'm getting one of those Southern booties. And yeah. But
I was just
like, huh?
I'll come back. No, go ahead.
At my job, I get about like 6,000 steps in. But if I'm being conscious about it, I'll like sometimes it can go down to 2,000. That's if I'm conscious about it. I'll get 6,000 steps in at work. But it's just like I have to be really conscious. Like, get up, go get the kid. Just don't call down to the class. Get up, go see this. Run around the building a few times. And so, I've been trying to do that. I got my little watch. Like, how many steps do I have?
Good job. That's what's up.
About me trying to cheat the step thing, but I was stepping. So I watched this whole video of this girl doing a workout at home.
Mm-hmm.
That was not cheating. He was like, "You're cheating. You're cheating." I was like, "No, it's not. It's movement. It's movement." But
You're right.
A lot of opinions about what went wrong in that particular video she put in, and you're a workout person, right? Do you train people? Do you train
people?
Okay.
I don't train people.
Okay.
Yes.
One thing I felt like, or I feel like a lot of trainers do, and he was pre-diabetic. So if she found out that he was pre-diabetic, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think should have been done once she found out he was pre-diabetic?
Wait, who found out someone was pre-diabetic? Is this a movie?
No, this is on the video clip. She had said the guy went to the doctor because he wasn't losing weight, and he was like, all I had was a salad and protein, and he did not lose weight. He didn't gain weight, but he didn't lose weight. So she took him to the doctor, and went to the doctor. He was pre-diabetic.
Okay, and all he was eating was what?
He said all he was eating was a salad and a protein shake.
Well, I find that hard to believe, but I can't really say what the first thing to do would be. I guess he should have been working out. If he wasn't working out, he should have been working out.
He was working out with her.
I don't know. I don't know what the first thing should have been.
I would have said sugar. Sugar's coming for your life. Like anything with sugar, added sugars, let's go through your pantry right now and get it out. Because obviously, if he is working out with you, so he's working out, and he's claiming he's not eating all this stuff, which I don't think that he was sitting down pigging out, then she should have automatically, felt like some insulin resistance was happening. and then it went toward that diet. But she didn't even, it was just like, just keep on doing this and it'll work. And it's like, that's not true for certain people. And that's why I wouldn't even go to a fitness trainer who didn't know how to, like, even working out with insulin resistance, you have to do intervals. That's why trap yoga is working for, trap cardio is working for me, because it's intervals. It's like you stop and you walk or whatever, or you do a slow song, and then you do the fast song, level up, and then you do the, you know, so it's intervals. And so most of those people, they don't, I know people who are trying to be trainers now, and they just don't, I would have to see some certification. I would have to see some, like, you know what you're doing. And a lot of people don't, because how are you going to take somebody to the limit, but you don't know what their heart is like? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You don't know what their lungs are like, or their liver function or anything. Hi, she's back.
Hi.
She's going.
Hey, sissy.
Hello. What are you guys talking about? No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, you know how it is. I don't know what it is about. I'm gonna switch from StreamYard. I got to figure out, because I know everything's on point. There's absolutely no reason for this bullshit to be happening. I'm on one right now, y'all. I've been cursing a little bit today. I did a stream earlier. Excuse me. But anyway, what were you guys? What did I miss?
We were talking about the video, and I was talking about the girl. Like, I feel like she made a lot of mistakes. Like, one, when she took him to the doctor and found out that he was pre-diabetic.
Oh, yeah. Talk on that part. That part bothered me. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so I felt like he should have been more motivated, because when I was pre-diabetic, I was like, what the hell? You know, and that scared me, because my grandmother and my great-grandmother was diabetic. And eventually that's what caused their problems, and they died, right? So I was like, why isn't he more concerned about his health? And he kept on talking about he would be broken, he has a career and all this other stuff. I felt like she should have been, immediately when she heard pre-diabetes, she should have went sugar. Anything with sugar, added sugar, let's get rid of it, okay? She should have assumed that there was insulin resistance. She should have started getting him on a diet for insulin resistance, and started putting him on exercise regime that actually works. Like, intervals work best when you have insulin resistance, versus just, you know, working yourself to death. Work, stop. Work, stop. How come she doesn't know this? I'm not even a trainer.
Right.
How come she doesn't know this?
Right.
And the next thing would be, he clearly had a fear of being broke. Okay. And she wasn't addressing that. You know, he was like, it doesn't matter if I don't have a roof over my house. Doesn't matter if I don't have, you know, these things. So she wasn't addressing that, nor was she trying to fit anything that she was trying to do with him around his work schedule, you know, around what he already does. Why don't you tell him, okay, go to work, but on your lunch break, I want you to walk, you know? There was like, no, it was just like, get up at 6 a.m. and do this whole lifestyle change. But the thing is that when I majored in leadership, they said when you go observe a classroom, even if there's a laundry list of things that the person needs to change, only give them one or two things, because people cannot process this all sweeping change like that. They'll probably do it and then they'll revert back. So give them one or two things to do at a time. And that what she should have started off doing is telling him to get more movement while he's at work, since he can miss work, you know?
Right.
So I think that those were her failures there. She wasn't addressing a lot of things he had going on in his head, and she wasn't making incremental changes with him. And he was with it. He was not with it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think in all fairness, that I agree with you on all that. I think that they gave her too much of a load. Like, he clearly is a candidate for bypass surgery, you know, gastric bypass. Now, does that mean, okay, people be like, no, that's not true? Because you could see, like, they did an intake with him, obviously, and there were some issues with him eating still. You know, you could see he's an emotional eater, a boredom eater. And so it's about, you know what I mean? It was about, okay, is that am I echoing? because, okay, Pashai, when you get a chance, sis, thanks for joining. Turn on your camera. Hey, Pashai, how are you? I'm gonna get to you in a second. But yeah, I think that she just that was be above her pay grade. I think they should have given her somebody who matched her, like 40 pounds, 100 pounds. That wasn't even, you know what I mean? Like he had to lose 100 pounds and she only had to lose 40. They should have given her someone a little closer, like maybe 60 at the most. But he was in a different, he needed to get gastric bypass surgery because he had an eating issue. Ashika, I know you wanted to chime in and say something real quick. I want to welcome Pashai on. She's actually driving right now. She's a lady truck driver. Pashai, how are you? Are you sipping on some water while you drive? Okay, you can't unmute?
Yes, I'm smart water.
Okay, okay. All right, sissy. Thanks for joining.
You can hear me?
Yeah. I heard you. You can go ahead and mute again if you want. Okay,
Shika, I'm a mute.
Okay, sis, thank you. Shika, what did you want to say something? I saw you like wanting to chime in on that. No?
Yeah, a lot of those people though, that those clients that they take, they are like very large. They are, and they're able to, like the next one, I think it was the guy named Mateo. He was almost as big as him, and he lost weight.
You're talking about the restaurant owner? The guy who's talking about eat all the pork and stuff?
Yeah, and he was a restaurant owner, so that is like, oh, dude, you're doing a lot. But then, if eating is the problem, fasting. One thing I realized when I did the metabolic factor was that, oh, shoot, I am overeating. And it's like, because you do a shake and then you do like a salad or a wrap for lunch and then you do a dinner, which he has you cook. It's all like no carbs. It's like a diabetic diet. And I was starving the first week. I was like, is he trying to kill me? But I was like, why am I so hungry?
But you adjusted to it, right?
Yeah, you adjust to it. Now I do intermittent fasting. I don't eat until 12. I eat lunch and I eat dinner, and that's it. But I'm not gonna lie, like on Fridays it goes down because that's my cheat day. That's the day I get myself. But I do eat like a bigger lunch, and then we'll go out to eat, so.
Oh yeah, that's the problem when you go out, because you don't even know what they're putting in your food. I mean, not just, I'm saying like the fat part. Like we make healthy choices when we cook at home, but you don't know, they might be cooking your stuff in all butter, like pure butter, and you're just like, oh, this is such a healthy piece of salmon, but it's been like soaking in butter in the frying pan. But yeah, definitely, it's about cutting back on food. I agree again with you. I think Mateo had a different type of motivation. You see, did you notice something? Gosh, this is good. He had a great support group. All those friends. That other dude had nobody. He was a loner pretty much. He just had his superficial friends that he would make laugh. But he was very lonely inside and very, he had a lot of solitude going on. So, yeah, that's a good show. We were talking about this show. Letitia, did you want to chime in? Because I know you probably had something to say about that, right? Have you seen the show?
No, Chica was telling me about it. We were talking about it a little bit. I'm not sure. I must didn't watch a link, but yeah, she told me about it.
Okay. Is it me? I'm not glitching out, right, audience? Like,
no, you're fine.
I'm seeing your little view of you, Letitia, like glitching, but maybe it's just on my end. Am I the only one that sees that?
Yeah.
Okay. So good. That's good. I didn't want it to be like, everybody, it must be me. Must be my side, my wonderful connection. So, Pashai, you've lost a lot of weight. Talk to us about what you've been doing differently.
Okay, I could talk in a minute. I'm about to be at the shipper, so I can't talk yet. Give me a minute.
Let me talk a little bit about what you've done, though. Okay, I think you went from a size 12 and now you're a size 7, and you what she said she's doing is fasting. So it's all about food, like pretty much what Sheikah said, what I said, what we know, just the basics. It goes back to food. It really does go back to food. So anyway, family. We can continue talking about this if you want. I didn't drop the link. Did I drop the link in the chat? Let me do that.
Uh-oh, she didn't click herself out. Yeah, but it's definitely like one of my problems is bread, cupcakes, cookies, sweets. I absolutely love sweets. So that's a weakness of mine. That's a problem for me that I need to get it in order.
I like food and I like meat a lot. That's why I did go vegetarian.
Really?
Yes. I really like meat. Like, it's a problem. So
I only have chicken and turkey meat. That's it.
I like beef. Well, because I stopped eating pork. Okay. So
That's
I like
good.
a lot with beef. And I need to stop it.
So I'm gonna put this in the comments. And my beautiful, lovely, amazing, wonderful, awesome. Damn, y'all. I was gonna share the link, so if somebody wants to come in and add their piece, I would love to have them do that. But I messed up, so I got to go back. So go ahead, you guys. Don't let me interrupt. I'm just trying to do some, production stuff over here.
Oh no, I was saying bread. Bread is a bread, cake, cupcakes. Like,
Ew, yeah.
I love all of that.
Damn.
It's a problem area for me. No, but I'm pretty good about working out on a regular basis in the morning. That's my favorite time to work out, is first thing in the morning. If I don't do it first thing in the morning, I can't do it. It just won't get done.
What time do you have to be at work?
9 o'clock.
Okay. See, yeah. When I used to go to work at 12 o'clock, when I worked for Time Warner, I used to go at 12. And I could, get it in. And now I have to be at work at 8 o'clock. And the baby's on my route. So I have to be on the road by 6:50. So it's like, I had the same problem that guy said. He was like, how early I got to get up, to work out in the morning. It's not like I can work out at 6 o'clock, hop in the shower at 7 and be at work at 8. No, because I commute. So it's like my whole commute is like 50 minutes, like an hour.
Oh boy.
But after work, if I don't do it right when I come in the door, it's not going to get done, because, and for some reason, it makes me have more energy. So I'm up, and that's the problem too.
Yeah.
But I also changed my mattress, so I'm getting more sleep.
Oh, good.
Like, I don't feel tired when I wake up. I feel like well rested. And that was another thing she didn't address. She didn't address, he has a job that he's so concerned about. She didn't address stress. How he can bring down that stress besides eating, or sleep management, which is important.
Yes.
And I was like, come on, lady. But she was on her own journey too. So I think sometimes, you're not sitting there analyzing everything,
She doesn't sound like she was a good fit.
Excuse me. Peace, Mrs. Graham, Max Bird, Case Flick Shakur, Benita. I see. I don't know who else is in here. Let me see. I wanted to say, do you guys mind reposting that link that I put in there for me, family? I appreciate you. Peace, everybody out there. Yeah, so that's a good show, though. I had actually reached out to her and asked her to join our show, either or this show, and also bring her on Sonnetter, because there's a big issue with our women and this whole thing about trying to get fit, working out, which is good, the part about stress. So I invited her. I liked her. I liked that trainer, that particular episode. I just didn't, I feel the same way about you with the dietitian. That was a foul. I didn't like that part of the whole show anyway. I just think that it was, and also I want to say it was a lot about, which is okay, but it was a lot about the trainer too. It wasn't just about him. It was more like, oh, this trainer. And I'm not saying that's bad, but it was a lot about the trainer. So anyway, I hear it.
So they weren't really focusing on him.
No, they were.
That's what you're saying? Oh, okay.
They focused on him, but for me, and I do like how she was like, I don't care, I'm losing this weight. When he quit, she wasn't like, well, I guess I'll quit too. She's like, ugh, y'all got me messed up. I am not staying this fat right now. And she wasn't even fat. She wasn't even fat. She wasn't fat. And when she was like, ooh, I got my back rolls. It's like, do you want the back rolls and the booty? That is also a good point too.
That's
most people, when you see all these women on Instagram and on these movies and these models, you gotta know that some body sculpting took place, some fat transfer. So, you might see these women with these perfect hips, big butt, perfect breasts, tiny little 18-inch waist, and you're like, flat as a board, ironing board bellies. And you're like, damn, I wish I could do that. Now, some women are blessed, like miracle hitting the lottery. Some women are blessed to have bodies like that, but not most. And definitely not most women who are childbearing. Definitely not. So, anyway, family, like I said, the link is there. If you have anything that you want to talk about, this is going to be an open stream. You can hit the link and come in and ask some questions. Yes, with your camera. Thank you, Max Bird. I appreciate you. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, Sheik, I was going to talk about witchcraft. Witchcraft, yes. It's said more and more of our sisters are this is from I'm speaking from the perspective of a very, very, very Christian or very, very radical or very Orthodox Hebrew Israelite point of view or Bible believer. They're like a lot of women, especially our women, women of African descent, are into witchcraft now. Have you heard that in like the different Hebrew forums? You've heard that, right, Chika?
Yeah.
I don't really think it's a change. I think it's just that a lot of women they're being more open with what they believe. And I think they've always felt that way. Like, well, maybe you think it's new, but I've been doing this forever. It's like, I mean, sometimes it's ridiculous. I got to talk about it because, come on, there are people out there thinking that, that animism is paganism. And I guess some animism is paganism, but at its core, basically, it's more just knowing that everything has a spirit, right? But they also try to say, oh, you believe that there's that your tree is your sister, so you must be a witch. That's what I was said, especially who said, I'm not going to say his name, but the so-called the arch nemesis of everyone in the SVDL league, who would tried to totally destroy that SVDL. He was always like, you're a witch. Just admit it. You're a witch. You're a witch. And so what is your take on that, Sheik? I've heard you speak before, and it was very refreshing. So don't punk out right now. No, just kidding. You're not a punk. Now, remember before you were like, when we had Kansu on the panel once, and you were like saying some stuff, I was like, oh, Sheikah is a little bit she's very unorthodox in her thinking or in her beliefs. So refresh my memory about your stance on just things that are not orthodox as far as our beliefs. I'm saying Bible beliefs.
I just think that everybody takes anything that they're not familiar with and but they don't see in the Bible and they throw witchcraft on it. Oh, that's witchcraft. Like, you know, my mom, she used to tell us, because Caribbean people are very superstitious, you know. So it was like, if somebody tried to bother you, put their name on a piece of paper and put it in the freezer. You know, that'll freeze them, you know. And I did that for a very long time.
That works.
You know, because it did work. Let me tell you, no, I had an abusive ex-boyfriend when I was like 23, okay? And I did that with him, okay? Now, I'm not trying to tell you on this, right? But I also read Psalm 37 as well, because it is something that people read for, you know, when you're feeling vulnerable and things like that. And he was actually stalking me at the time. I did not know. And there was one time he was doing that, and I was home alone, and I felt him all around my house.
No way.
And I was like scared, like really, really scared. Like, and when I talked to him, he's the one who told me he was stalking me. You know, he was like, "I used to come around here," yeah. But I had moved on. I had another boyfriend that I actually lived with and stuff. He just happened to be gone at that time too, so it was just like scary. Mm-hmm.
That's
but
right.
after we had broken up, I was like putting you on ice. And
that might be where I came from, right? Put the person on ice. Wow.
That might be where that phrase comes from. Yep.
Yes, and so they would say,
I was in the faces, and he was like, "Is your mom a witch?" And I was like, "Oh, she's superstitious." You know, this is just, you know, like something that, you know, is a state in the community at the time. But I think that people just, you know, they just want to throw witchcraft on anything that they don't understand or they don't feel is right. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and that's sad because it has caused hundreds of thousands of women's death, and it is a big problem. I mean, I can't wait till this debate. Ooh, I'm just ready. Oh, I feel like crying almost. I'm so excited to do it. See, I don't care if he's going around and, you know, peace to the brother. I don't care if he's going around saying we got to get rid of, you know, this witchcraft in the community. No, what we got to get rid of is the misogyny and ignorance in the community, because all through that Bible, there are things going on with people dealing with the Most High. I'm not saying necromancy. They're dealing with the Most High. They're praying. They're going dealing with spirit, with the Almighty power. So let me stay with them. That's okay. I know I'm going to crush them because I have the Most High on my side. Because this has to stop. They want to say, "Oh, you're a witch. You're a witch." You don't even find out where the power, the sister who's doing the healing or doing the actual spirit work, which you said, you know, putting somebody's picture in a cup of water and freezing it in a freezer. That's not witchcraft. You believe in what you've been told, and you follow the Most High. What is the difference between you doing that and you taking a preventive measure of, like, I don't know, what is that little thing, the bazooka, or what's it called? You know what it is, Chica. I know you know that thing at the door, that the little, what is that? The mezuzah? I can't remember what it's called.
That you put the scripture in,
and then it's at the door. Yeah. What's the difference? That's why I want to do this debate and be like, well, you know, you're saying witchcraft. What is actually witchcraft to you? If it's saying that you're worshiping and calling on other spirits, yeah, that's against the Most High. But we don't need that scripture to tell us that. We already know the Most High says all through Torah. I mean, that is a part of Torah. But the Most High says, don't you dare go to any other gods but me. Right? So anyway, I just take so much issue with it because at the end of the day, it's just a way to hate women. It's another way to take the power away from women and the righteous power that the Most High has bestowed upon us. Check. It's like, we can't do this. We can't do that. We have to bow down to men. We have to obey our husbands. Now you want to tell us that we can't have a relationship, a strong spiritual relationship with the Father, with the Almighty power? You're telling us that we can't heal? When Yahushua came and he said, Oh, I want you to heal. I want you to do this. I want you to raise people from the dead. And they're like, oh, raise people from the dead? Oh, she's a witch. She's trying to bring zombies back. You know what I mean? So I kind of went on and on. I don't want to give too much up, but.
Well, they took out a piece of the Bible with Thecla. She was actually an apostle that was on the same level as Paul. She healed. She did all types of miracles and everything else.
You're telling too much for my debate. Stop. We got to talk about that backstage. Yes, exactly. They don't know about, they're not ready, Sheikah.
I'm curious to know more about that.
You know, Mighty Hebrew knows this, but Jeremiah Judah does not know this.
Right.
Slam dunk about his head for the sisters. And sisters, I do not, there's so much, you know, when we open our, this is the thing, when we say so many sisters are leaving the church and going to do witchcraft, because they're being told by the church that their true connection and power with the Most High is wrong. So they think, right? So they think I got to leave the Most High.
In the Hebrew community, it's like your true power and everything with God is through a man. So you need to run under his covering. I had a man, we need to talk about this on the gas show. I had a man say, women shouldn't experience orgasms because then they'll become hoes. I was like, then what the hell is this for? You know, like, what are you talking about? You know, there's not supposed to be any type of pleasure. Like, women are not supposed to have pleasure in having sex. Another man, I said, you want to go live about this? He said that all women need is clothes, food,
and shelter.
Food and shelter. That's it. You don't need to be heard, listen to nothing. I'm like, what type of woman do you plan on marrying? Because she's not going to be dealing exclusively with you. I can tell you that. All she wants from you, and she says a word to you, she's stepping out. She's getting that from somewhere. And I mean, they totally dehumanize the woman. Like she doesn't need to be stimulated mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. There's none of that for you because you have a vagina. Like, get out of here.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
I can't.
No, I heard a sister say, and I'm not saying this was a while ago. This was years ago. We were having a conversation, and this is before she really started to open up with me, because you know sometimes sisters in the community and other places, they're scared to actually say, hey, I actually like sex, or they're scared to tell because they think you're going to go back and, you know, expose them for liking sex. So a sister said, I don't, we were talking very privately, and I'm not saying who she is. We're not in connection with each other, but she said, I don't think it's appropriate for a woman to speak too much during sex. Like, how are you going to say that? Like, if you don't want to speak, fine. But for her to say, she thought it was like showing, like, in a way, like you're not a lady, or you're not a Proverbs 31, because you actually spoke during sex. And, ooh, that should be another guest topic, y'all.
Yeah.
So you want to play there like silly?
Right. Thank you, Sheikah. Like, what?
Okay.
It depends on what your man wants. Yes. So I thought about that right away, and not trying to throw anything. I'm not going to say which camp she was married to, which brother, but it's a well-known camp. And the sister was just like, I was like, sis, I used to be, and I still am like this in a way, but I used to be one of them, Sheikah. I used to be the one like, I used to be like, I don't want to say like on Color Purple, where Whoopi Goldberg was like, beat her. You know, I wasn't like that with the one. I was kind of, I'm not gonna lie, when I was first in the Hebrew Israelite, like coming in, I was like the one, they love me, the men love me. Now, I wasn't trying to be pick me, I really was brainwashed to be like, sis, you know, you should always do what your husband wants. And as long as he's not harming you, I never told sisters to be harmed, but I was like, so I get it. If you can talk, but the more she talked about it, I was like, ooh, maybe her husband doesn't want her to talk. And I kind of still feel that way though, in any connection. But back then I was like, yes, obey him, never speak. In fact, duct tape your mouth during sex. You know, I was like, I just thought that.
Wow.
Hey, duct tape in your mouth during sex. Hey, let me tell you something. No, you guys thought I was going to say something. Anyway, next subject. That's the caption. So
True.
yeah. That's going to be a good debate. Sheikah, don't dip out on me. Stay strong with the sister. When you hear me, I'm gonna be saying a couple things that you might be like, okay, Napah, I don't know about that one. I'm gonna go in on it. I'm gonna call out some stuff. I'm gonna hold them to the fire because they want to make it like women. How do I say this? Sheikah. The Bible talks about the high priest. Now, I'm not talking about our ancient high priests back then. I'm talking about men today because I believe that the high priest back then would have been considered like warlock men today. I believe that the men who were high priests back then were the approachable, loving, secure men who women just, were like, no, I'm going to be a virgin because I want to be with that high priest. You know, like those were the stars. And I believe that those men weren't like, bring me the virgins and kill everyone else. You know, I believe those men were very spiritual, very loving. Because you know why I believe it? Look at the life of Yahushua, right? He was so loving. I mean, I just love to bust them open with Yahushua. Oh God, I get so fuzzy and warm and fuzzy inside when I think about doing this debate because I'm going to bring out all of that. Yeah, maybe they're listening. Maybe Jeremiah Judah's trying to dip his ear in, but it doesn't matter because the Most High is going to let me show that they called Yahushua basically a warlock, right? Or no? Remember? So,
yeah. Especially in the oral Torah, they were definitely calling him a wizard, and he was actually on coins depicted as a wizard. And their whole story is different than what's in the Bible. So yeah.
You are so Sheikah. I need to talk to you. See, that's why I was a little frustrated earlier. I was like, damn. I told Letitia, I was like, I want to talk to Sheikah because I hope she's not like trying to break ranks. But you are seeing this. I don't think I'm dropping some golden nuggets. Sonetter's probably out there like, baby, stop talking about it because he's such an expert on debating. Like, he's like, don't give them anything. But even that's how strong I feel in this debate coming, because it's not about like who won, who has the biggest arms and brawn. I know Yahweh's going to let me bust him open because it's time. There is a paradigm spiraling up, which people say shift, but I say the paradigm is going up. And in women, sisters are coming into their strength and their power.
Right.
They want to disconnect. They want us to forget about Huldah, Sheikah. They want us to forget about Huldah. They want us to forget that in all the land, sis, come on now, all the land. Go ahead.
The thing about Huldah is that she instructed 5 priests. She instructed priests. So how come Huldah wasn't the high priest? Well, it's logistical concern. Women have their menstrual period, and therefore any discharge is considered to be unclean. So you can't have a high priest who's out of commission for 7 days and then 30 days for a boy and 90 days for a girl. So this is a logistical thing. But when you have misogynistic males envying their oppressors, they take that and say, see, this is domination. See, you can do this because you have a vagina, which is partly true, but it's more logistical, but not necessarily a misogynist type of thing. Misogyny is everybody says, well, feminism is European. Exactly. Why? Because misogyny is European. That didn't exist in places where they haven't been. You know, in Africa, they fought together. In Africa, they started women armies. In Africa, they did all types of stuff. So, of course, that scared, Europeans. We got to fight them. And they wanted, goodness gracious. and then when they come in and they colonize, and they took us everywhere, then they began to infuse their culture, which misogyny is their culture, into it. So that way you can keep your woman at home so they can't fight with you. You know, they supposed to be at home, not fight with you, because then what are we gonna do? We're gonna be outnumbered. This is why the Black Panther Party was such a threat, because they had the women and the men on the front lines, you know, versus the NAACP and Southern SCLC. You know, they had their women behind. You know, you stay home and you take care of the children and stuff. So
yeah, and we
she
understand.
could go in. Good job.
Yeah, so it's such an intricate, thin line right there where you just brought in, because remember that one sister Sipdown. I don't know if Letitia was a part of that, but it was a while ago. We had SecMed.
yeah.
Remember we discussed where it's such a thin line about, do we go in the front line? Do we stay home? Because it's so much more complex than just front line, stay home with women. And that is why we are so special. That is why we're so different, because we are so interchangeable. I mean, it's a no-brainer. You say, should the man go out or be at home? Of course, okay, go out. But with the women, it's like, wait, we're useful in both places. We're useful in the front line. We're useful at home, and we're needed on the front line, and we're needed at home. We're indispensable on the front line, and we're indispensable at home. So I just wanted to talk on something that damn, like, God, I wanted to mention something that was really important. Before you started the front line thing, you were talking, what were you talking about? Because I wanted to speak, what were we initially, like?
I was talking about the high priest and how it's more a logistical thing versus misogyny.
Right. So I want to talk on this too. I'm going to take it to this. Damn, I hope I'm not sabotaging my debate, because he won't even care. He'll still go with his whole parodying of, and then it says, don't do this and don't do that, and the witch of this and the witch of. Okay, so I don't care. So I'm going to say this. You know, the whole thing about, y'all aren't going to like this, but I'm going to say it. I'm not saying y'all on the panel. I'm saying y'all who's out there listening with your ears burning and your head, the top of your head about to explode. The whole unclean about the menstrual, I'm starting to really find out more. It was already in the back of my mind because of my upbringing. It was already in the back of my mind because I know what's going on with menstrual blood and that whole unclean, filthy, unclean. The issue with the menstrual blood is that there's life in it. And we're talking about human life. And when you talked about logistics, I wanted to talk about, just elaborate more on that. You've got issues of human life, basically, in blood. And then you have kind of, there's almost a conflict of interest. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, I know that sounds like a lot, but I'm throwing that out there. And so as a woman, I don't think it's because, she's so filthy, she must not come near. It's because, wait a minute, we got a problem here. We're doing this sacrifice of this blood, but we've got also that blood, and it's all spiritual. So I'm just gonna hand that over there. But I got some bombs. I got some nuclear bombs for this. I have some nuclear bombs because we're gonna change that whole, she was filthy and that's why she was so nasty. And somebody told me when it says as a filthy rag, it may have been translated to King James. I don't know. You guys, do you mind muting now for a second? Because I hear a little echo, but I don't know if it was translated by what is it, Tisdale and all the other versions, but I know King James was very misogynistic. I mean, he was super woman hater. He was afraid of women's power. So I haven't even looked in depth about what is the word, like, okay, unclean. I get it. You look in the blue letter and it says, not clean, ungodly. But I really, really wonder what that word really meant in the original Hebrew. And I can hand it over to you and Letitia if you want to elaborate on that, or if you want to enlighten me, because I take issue with the whole, she's filthy, make her leave. I don't think that. I think it's because the blood had life in it, because, stem cells are in your menstrual blood. So I'm starting to see more and more and more and more and more and more. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think? What's going on?
I don't know if it's like she's unclean because she has a menstrual cycle. I think it's taking away from the purification, because even back then they didn't have periods like how we have periods now. There's so much toxins everywhere that your period is really more than what it should be. But I don't think it's like, oh, she's filthy because she has I think if it meant anything different than unclean itself, it's probably a discharge, a discharge from the body.
All right, right. Right, the discharge. We have a brother trying to join. But I will say this, it's not the same as a discharge as it's not the same as a weeping wound. Like a weeping wound has pus and all kinds of what are they called? Leukocytes, or like white blood cells that are going on, and we've got this whole cleansing of a wound essentially by the body or something like that. But with the menstrual cycle, it's a woman bleeding fresh blood that's coming from her womb, and it's not a wound. It's not a wound, and it's coming from her womb where the ovum expires. Just it decomposes or disintegrates, and then comes out through this. But anyway, that's enough of that. I've said enough already. Setting my trap for my enemies. No, just kidding. So peace and black power, brother. Peace and black power, brother. Greg is your name?
Yes, peace and love. I'm Greg Phillips L. out of Chicago. Been a fan. And I remember you back when we used to be in Judah groups back in the day. So congrats on your development and evolution.
Right.
And
Judah, what do you mean Judah's group? Judah where?
in the back, I think the War Council, some of them Lions Den groups and stuff.
Oh, you mean like SBDO?
Yeah. But yeah,
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Thank you for joining. Did you have a question?
Well, yes. I did. I was interested in what you were saying about the menstrual blood and the unclean part. Are you familiar with that term unclean being used to mean that something is untouchable versus filthy? Things that shouldn't be touched, things that should be circumscribed or sectioned off. The meaning really meant something to not be touched, or a hands-off thing versus it being filthy.
Well, what is that in now? That's interesting. Is that somewhere in Torah that you can actually lead us to? Because that's interesting. I would like to see that. I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. Yeah, Blue Letter kind of funny. Yeah, I could find it though real quick. But yeah, unclean was like untouchable. Like the black untouchables in India, it meant for something that shouldn't be touched, not something that had a negative connotation to it.
Interesting.
In and of itself. It's just, how it's a time and a place for everything. It was a time and a place for that to be handled by particular people in particular situations. And ones took that to make negative connotations and throw shade on the women.
Interesting. Very interesting. Wow. Thank you for adding that. I wish we could get the scripture, but anybody want to add or comment or ask the brother a question about that?
No, I think he has. That's a nice point. It would be nice for him to find the scripture, but I like that point of view.
Yeah, that's interesting because I would love to find out more about that. I'm vaguely recalling something, but I don't want to speak too much because I don't know specifically. I haven't heard that lately, but there's something in the back of my mind telling me, yes, I have. I don't know about it being called unclean, but there is, I know what I'm thinking. The profane and the holy. So I've heard about the profane, right? Chica, yeah, have you heard that too? Like profane isn't necessarily always considered unclean, if I'm not mistaken, but I have to look more into that. Chica, what's your take on that?
That would definitely make more sense. Because of course you're not trying to touch that or anything like that. So yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Right. And I appreciate you coming on and sharing that. Sorry, I don't remember you, brother. But I appreciate you following, and I don't know if you froze, but you're very much appreciated. And I wanted to say something.
You're saying you shouldn't want to touch the blood, your period blood?
Well, not everybody should be touching your blood.
Oh, right. Yes.
All right, brother. Did you have anything else you wanted to say before I remove you from the stream? I appreciate your question very much. Or not your question,
good.
the information that you shared. What?
You good. I was just good in the back trying to find the Hebrew terms, but you're good. Peace and love.
You were trying to find it. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
you ladies rock. I might put a link or something in the back chat.
I would
Put a
love
link
that.
when I find it. Yes, definitely. You ladies rock. Keep shining. Keep doing your thing. Keep pushing the boundaries of self-realization and self-mastery. I see y'all.
Right. Are you a Hebrew Israelite?
I used to be. I'm a more scientist now, and I've been through several schools of thought in between. Being I was a Hebrew Israelite from '99 to 2008, and yeah, I have a East meets West eclectic stew of looking at things, and it all revolves back to self, being God, our breath, our consciousness, our life, coming straight from the Creator, and we being a microcosm of the macrocosm.
I always talk about the macro. If you want to see the macrocosm, look at the microcosm. Brother, you should reach out to my husband, Sonetter, and you should try to get a spot on the show. He would love to talk to a brother like you. He likes to get into the minds of those who have traveled down the path and who have experienced being Hebrew Israelite. But you already know all that, I'm sure. Shout out to Sonetter and the HOK. But reach out to him on his email. If you don't mind, Max Bird or Mrs. Graham or anybody, do you mind putting the link to Sonetter's email so possibly this brother maybe could get in touch with him and we could have Sonetter give him an interview. Very interesting. I appreciate you joining the panel, brother.
Thank you, Quinn.
All right. Thank you. Peace.
Peace.
Peace and Black Power. I'm trying to, yeah, you just see yourself out. I think I froze. I know I froze. Did I freeze? Can you guys hear me?
No, you're moving still. You're fine.
So weird that I see myself frozen over here. But anyway, I'm glad he joined. Wow, I'm going to look into that. Okay, so yeah, Sonetter, he interviews brothers like that. Yeah, so we spoke enough about that because I've been giving away all my little plans, what I plan to do to my brother Jeremiah Judah in our battle. We're gonna have a debate about that. We're also gonna have a debate about rape in the Bible and another topic too that Sonetter brought up, which is there was just a second. A topic that Sonetter brought up, which is did the serpent lie to Eve in the garden? Or what'd you say, Sheikah?
No, I said,
Oh,
that's a good question.
Yeah, it's interesting. So thank you, Max. Thank you, Benita. Thank you, Mrs. Graham. Oh gosh, I love these moderators. They are the best. I want to have like a get together. I hope Sonetter does another Sonetter Studios HOK Awards. That would be nice. I think somebody's trying to come back in. Oh, did I remove the brother? No, I didn't. Anyway, so family, we've been going for about an hour talking about some interesting things. Let me see what's in the back chat. Did he post something? Private chat. Let me just see. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Thank you, Greg Phillips. No, the serpent told the truth. I know that's right. Y'all, let me stop messing up my debate. So anything else this is an open forum. Speak now or forever hold your truth. Not speak. Sheikah, Letitia, anything you want to talk about?
No, I love when you guys get to talking about the Bible, or not the Bible, but just all of that area. I like to sit back and listen to you guys talk because I don't know much about it. I think it's what you got, the Torah. It's Hebrew related, right?
The Torah is like the law. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then the Tanakh is the law and the prophecies. Pretty much like the prophets talking. So
Okay.
it's interesting. It's, every holy writing is amazing. I don't know a lot about the book of the day coming forth, but I've been reading it lately, like little bits about it. It's fascinating, just about Kemet. And I have read other books like the Quran. Have you ever read the Quran?
No.
The Bhagavad Gita?
No. No, the Bible. That's as close as I've gotten to any spiritual religion, the Bible.
That's okay. That's fine. And that's perfectly fine. It's about your interest and your journey. So, the Emerald Tablets, there's so much cool stuff out there.
I've heard of those.
What else is there? Gosh, there's so much. Anyway. So we lost a couple of sisters, but they're going to be back. I'm sure she could just turn her camera off. She probably has to attend to her baby. Hit the link, scaredy cats. Dang. Come on. Is it wrong for women to wear pants? Well,
no.
Tell them why.
No. Because we can wear what we want. That's why I feel there's nothing wrong with wearing pants. Why can't women wear pants?
Girl.
You guys stay out of our clothes. Don't worry about us wearing pants.
Is it wrong for men to wear skinny jeans? No. Anyway, the Bhagavad Gita, yes, it is fire. That's right, Essence of Ebony. It is. It's very interesting. But all the holy books are interesting. But my favorite is the Torah, the Gospels, the Tanakh, and the apocryphal writings from the Bible too. Yeah, like the apocrypha, like the hidden books. And I also like the Qumran scrolls. Those are interesting. Get you a little feel of the Essenes and how they were working out there. Peace and Black Power, brother. Is your name Afro?
That's correct. How y'all doing?
We're good. Did you have a question or a comment that you'd like to add on this open forum stream, my brother?
Comment. Just for one, y'all got my attention because I think polygamy is the way to go for an original family structure. And to see sisters basically flying that flag is impressive. Y'all got my total support. I shot you out an email in regards to bringing power to polygamy. Power is basically that we have family structures in play and we be examples so that everybody that's hating on a polygamous family structure will have real reference points as men and women that are practicing it for the higher cause, not just for the people involved in it, but more as an example for the community, for economic, political, and social empowerment.
Wow.
Would you like to have anybody? Shika, Letitia?
Say that again.
Would you like to respond to what the brother? Thank you for that statement, brother. Anybody want to respond to the brother?
I think it's a great idea. You sent it to Napah? You emailed it over to Napah?
Yeah. I wanted to share like basically the pillars of marriage that'll make any marriage solid, be it monogamous or polygamous. But I believe the pillars for polygamous should be pushed forth because that's our ancestral base. Like I hear Nepal make a lot of reference to the importance of ethics. That's a pillar in any relationship because if there's no ethics, there's no trust, there's no honesty. You got to have the same financial map. That's another pillar in a relationship. Are we on the same page in terms of how we're going to increase our wealth? We get polygamous families representing honesty, representing the building of finances, representing respect, compatibility, compromise, accountability. Nobody can argue how solid polygamy can be.
Wow. So Wow, brother, you might have to also hit that link for that's really,
What
I
link?
agree with you. I'm interested in hearing some more specifics about, I know we don't have enough time to, because what you're talking about probably, we need a whole show for you to discuss and break it down. I would love for you to also reach out and hit that, get that email and contact Sonetta. And so you can bring this to the family if you have something actually mapped out. If you want to share a little bit with us right now, give us some specifics on these pillars, like some of your the tenets that you're speaking of. I would love to hear from you. I'm sure the other sisters would too in the audience.
Definitely. There's roughly 12 pillars, and it's solid to make us stronger as a community. And it doesn't matter what spiritual basis you coming from, but you better be coming from something, because you got to be standing on ethics. Ethics is the cement that's going to hold it together. If there's no ethics, there's no trust. I don't care if it's polygamy or monogamy. It's not going to work. You got to have ethics, you got to be compatible. Because compatible is not about meeting a representative. The representative is basically somebody pretending to be what they think you want them to be so that they can get with you, But in reality, you have to be who you are, the both of you, and then be compatible and fit together like pieces in a puzzle. And then we got something. Everybody's not compatible. And there's no right and no wrong. It's not she wrong or I'm right. We're just incompatible. So you get with a compatible person, then you can make some ground. You can make some movement. And definitely, I shot you an email, but I don't know if you probably didn't get it. And I'm not really a big social media type person, but you kind of pulled me out of the woods with just seeing some sisters standing on polygamy. That's rare. Just keep pushing it. You got my 1,000% support, and anything that I can do to cement and fortify our family structure, I'm with you 1,000.
Wow, thank you, and we appreciate you, brother. So definitely, I'll look for the email. I mean, what's your email address? I get a lot of emails. I can forward it on, because I also want you to get involved with talking to Sonetta about this. Definitely, you have anybody that's promoting positive poly, and I'm gonna hand it over to Sheikah because she speaks on it very well and she articulates it well. Anyone that's promoting well-structured poly, poly that doesn't exploit or take advantage of the male or the female or the male, I should say, I'm all for that. So you need to tell me your email address so I can look for that email. And then I'm going to hand it over to the sister so she can also respond to you, or either Letitia too, but I know Sheikah has a talking point about that, right, Sheikah, where you discuss in detail about, the mishandling of sisters in polygyny. What's your email, brother?
It's K Orande. It's Kwaku. It's KWAKU, Kwaku, .RIIBC@gmail.com. You got that?
I'm gonna look out for it. I'm not checking my email right now, but
I'll shoot you another one. And also, one thing I want to say, right? The family is a cell to resurrect a nation. And we're about empowering our people. If we don't get our family solid, everything else is like a house built on sand, So this is just one piece to a much bigger matrix. And I'm so happy that you sisters are flying that flag.
Okay, well,
salute.
And I appreciate your feedback, the positive reinforcement on something. But I also appreciate that you're not just saying, "Oh yeah, polygyny is great. I deserve all these wives." You're actually saying it's because of this reason, and the reasons that you present are something that we all want. But Sheikah, what do you have to say? Do you want to make any comments to this, brother?
I agree that the family structure is important, no matter how you choose to, structure your family. I will say this, that a brother said to me today, and he was like, the Black women need to just let the men take over the community. And I'm like, well, who's stopping you? I don't really understand that. But the first step in doing that is getting back into these homes with these families that you've created. That is the first step in you being the leader in the community. Lead your family. So, but if you want to do it in a poly way, that's fine too. But you still have to be the leader of the family. And so I find it hard to believe that there are men who cannot make it with one woman, you know, and a lot of the pushers of polygyny aren't even married, you know, and you're talking about having 7 wives before you even get with one. I would challenge you to get with one and make it harmonious and bring somebody else into a harmonious situation, not chaos. So
I agree.
Well, I agree with you. One thing I want to say, Sheikah, is that malehood is between your legs. Manhood is between your ears. You got to earn the title to be a man. Femalehood is between your legs. Womanhood is between your ears. You got to earn that title to be a woman. Many are entering into relationships, be it monogamy or polygamy, and neither one of them is qualified to stand as a man or a woman. So how are you going to hold a family together? And I agree. If you're not like the sister I heard Napah say, the Beyonce song, put a ring on it. If you're not going to basically marry these sisters that's standing on the they on the front line, you got to marry these sisters.
Excuse me, brother. You could keep flowing. I just wanted to jump in like a double dutch and say, not just a ring, but a contract. But continue.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A contract is necessary because you got to build an estate and you got to protect that woman and she protect you in legal terms for the environment that we're in so that we can secure the future of ourselves, our offspring, and our future. No question about that.
Thank you. Wow. You know what? We need to do another, y'all see, she could like, girl, we was talking about one more polygyny panel. I need another polygyny panel. We need
It's not talked about enough. It's not talked about enough. And it's not talked about enough. And we need more solid examples. We need a platform for serious brothers and sisters that's about standing on it, to come together, marry up, consolidate, build extended families. So we go beyond talking about it, but we showing people examples, solid examples of it. That's where we need to be.
Right. Brother, I'm all with you, but you know what, brother, that was smooth. Because I heard you say we got to come together and marry up. No, I'm not trying to turn into a love connection, but it is what it is. If you get together, but I do agree we need to come together and talk about it more. And this is why. Let me tell you why. Because there are predators who are preying on sisters who don't know how poly goes. That's why when people say, well, Napah, why don't you shut about my sisters? There's sisters out there say, damn, all you talk about is poly. I damn sure do, because I'm doing it because I'm tired. I don't like men giving poly a bad name. I don't like it because I mean, I've said this before. Most of the sisters who are complaining about poly is because they've experienced traumatic instances, traumatic relationships, things that have scarred them. Like what you say, Sheikah, where she just says, I'm not talking about her sister who was the guest. I'm talking about somebody who was deep in a relationship. I'm talking about she put 12 years, 15 years, 20 years. And then, you know, all of a sudden she has nothing to show for it. Whether he transitioned, whether he decided somehow I don't love you anymore. Hold on. You could, no, I don't. Let me tell you something about marriage, Hadi. And I know about marriage because I've been married. Okay. Anyway, before and I'm married now. Thank you, Yahweh. And let me tell you about marriage. Marriage is all good and all the kisses and the roses and, oh, you know, the honeymoon. That's all fine. But for me, I want the commitment, the loyalty, the contracts, because you will walk away, or somebody can think about walking away. Anyone who's sitting up in the marriage and saying, no, I've never thought about walking away, you're lying, because it's human nature. If you're, huh?
I said facts. Keep going. You going in.
Thank you, sis. So what I'm saying is, like, if you know, okay, first off, I love this person. Great. You love the person. But if you also have contracts locking you in, you are not so eager to just say, well, I want this over with, or I want to move on. You're going to say, well, damn, I do have this contract still. Let me assess this. We're this is more than me just having a broken heart. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me, though. When I'm in a relationship, that doesn't mean that I don't put love and connection first. Of course I do. But the reality is, you do need something tangible, something that secures you. And anyone telling you, sisters, that, oh, you don't love me, you don't trust me. See, that's a red flag. So if I say, look, we need to do a contract, and then a man comes back to me and says, oh, why, you don't trust me? Well, Negro, why do you think I said I need a contract? No, I'm just kidding. No.
Why don't you want to give me it? Why don't you want to give me this contract?
Yeah, so we need to talk about this, especially in poly, because monogamy, the government's got their back, right? They can go in the court, lock them in, But when it's poly, it's more, women are more vulnerable. Women, you got one woman with a contract through the judicial system, and then you come in and he's supposed to just sit there and he's like, oh, baby, I'm gonna give you a baby. So that's no.
Right.
We need something to say, well, look, remember you said this and this is what we agreed upon. You need to be, and if you're, so I said a lot, I'm going on and on, but let me hand it back over to the brother. What do you think about that? Because you're talking and you're a brother who's pro poly. What is your take on that? What do you think about women that we must require, and men, but I'm talking about women, especially because it's polygyny. We must require some type of legal documents in our relationship, in our unions. What's your take on that, brother, being a polygynist?
Two things. One is, one of the pillars of marriage is an exit strategy. There's no guarantee that you're going to get along forever. We all would like to make it to death do you part, but sometimes we grow, and as we develop and as we go, we may grow apart. So you have an exit strategy. If we're going to terminate this relationship out the gate, we should have something structured about how we're going to separate, especially when it involves we building assets together, we making financial moves together, we buying properties together, we're building a business together. And in this society that's anti-original people, is anti-African, is anti-Black family structure, then we have to be intelligent enough to look at the legal framework of the society and make sure that we are building relationships where we even legally protecting each other in an antagonistic legal environment against a polygamous family structure. So I'm in 1,000% agreement with that.
Okay, nice. Do you are you currently in a polygamous or a poly relationship?
I have been historically the most monogamous, polygamous that you'll ever meet in your life. So I come out of a 30-year marriage right before COVID hit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was married by Nana Denny Zulu, who had 27 wives. And out the gate, I was basically letting my wife know when she agreed that I'm with this polygamy. But in my course and in my life, I found I ran into just too many women that basically wanted to practice illegamy, not polygamy. And I'm loyal, so I wasn't down with it. So I ended up being monogamous with my queen all the way up, 30 years strong. And then what
did you call it? What was that you just said, that word? They wanted to practice what?
Illegamy.
What is that?
Illegamy means people who say they practice polygamy, but they're not practicing polygamy. They're practicing basically an illegal form of polygamy, a form of polygamy that doesn't exist. Polygamy is structured. Polygamy is traditional. Polygamy is married. If you're not married, you're not practicing no polygamy. So I call it illegamy. It's illegal.
But it's not legal here, correct?
It's not legal in this society. No, that's the whole point of what Napah was saying, that if we're going to practice it, and because this society itself does not permit us to practice our traditional family structure, then we have to protect ourselves legally because it's not recognized here. That's why we have to sign contracts to make sure that we protect each other's investments, assets, to make sure that if there is an untimely death of someone, that the person that you're in a polygamous relationship with or the whole family is financially taken care of. That's the whole point of why I'm agreeing with Napah, that we're in an antagonistic environment. We're in an environment of basically a society that is anti-original people in terms of cultural family structure. That's why monogamy is basically pushed forth, but you got more women than you have men. You have more men in prison than ever before. We have men dying of wars than the ones that are left. Some of them are not even dealing with their women in the correct fashion. Some of them are not even financially sound. So how are we going to basically build strong family structures when the numbers don't even add up? That's why I believe our ancestors practiced polygamy in the first place.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, we have to legally protect those relationships in this environment with contracts. 1000% in agreement.
Thank you, brother. I just want to jump in and make a clarification. That is, there's a lot. This is commonly said. Polygyny is not illegal in the United States. Bigamy is illegal. Bigamy is illegal, and that means that you go into the court system and go and try to on paper, on contract in the judicial system, you try to get a license, a marriage license with more than one person. That's bigamy, and that is illegal. But polygyny is not illegal. Interestingly, it's not illegal unless you try to go through the court system and have the government recognize your union. So, I mean.
So the contract that you're talking about that every relationship should have, so that'll be recognized in a situation of his death or something of that nature?
That is correct. You have the power to set up legal paperwork to basically have your assets flow the way you want them to flow. This is why people set up wills. This is why people have estate management. This is why you set up corporations, limited liability corporations, and you have basically shareholders involved so that you can basically control the flow of those resources that has, goes above and beyond what's recognized in the courts here as a marriage. That's why we need the paperwork, because of what she just said, because they're only going to recognize a marriage here from a monogamy point of view and protect the parties involved if it's monogamous. So because we're not protected by default, then we have to protect ourselves. And that's what she's talking about. And she's right.
Right. Thank you, brother. And I would also like to add more on that. It's not just about from a financial standpoint. It's everything. You can have a contract for anything. Of course, power of attorney. Those are the most common because to make life decisions for your mate. Now, of course, hold on, be realistic. Unless you get a very, very good lawyer, somebody to write up a very good legal contract that is solid and that will be very intricate, you will not be able to come up usually against the wife who is on the legal paper through the judicial system with the license. That's something that's a reality.
What I wanted to know.
That's something that's a reality. It really depends on what the issue is and what you're trying to get power for. I will say that it depends on the person, the situation, the type of contract. But this is another reason why you have to have a good relationship with your sister wives. Even if you've come into something and you both agreed on it, but you both just know you really don't like each other, somehow you're going to have to really sit down and build some kind of very solid foundation with each other somehow. And if you can't do it, then you either have to face the facts that one day you might be standing out in the rain, crying, looking through a window, wondering why you can't be there when everybody else is there. You hear what I'm saying? Or standing on the outside. If you don't actually establish an understanding and a good relationship, you don't need to be going out to have coffee and telling each other your deepest, darkest secrets. But she has to be the type of person, and you have to be the type. Well, I'm talking about the wife with the license. She has to be the type of woman to be like, look, I don't like her. I don't like how she is. But at the end of the day, he loved her. So she really has to have it goes also back to like how you feel about your husband. How do you feel about his wishes? If he becomes, incapacitated, or even worse, you have the wife that got the paperwork through the government. She has to be able to say, listen, I know I didn't like her, but he loved her. So I have to have that type of, be fair. So there's a lot. But in the end, you should have something. You should have a nice, solid contract. And by the way, this is something that doesn't happen with the contract, the license through the government. This is the pro for the woman who doesn't have or doesn't go through the license through the government. If you only have a government license through the judicial system, through the U.S. government, and you don't have any other contracts behind that, then you don't get to change your contract throughout the years. You know what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of married couples, especially like people who are, married to wealthy, like millionaires and famous people. Of course, we know about the common prenup, but there's other contracts that married couples are always renewing their contracts. They set a contract for a certain amount of time. I have like a 2-year or 3-year or 4-year contract, and then they renew them. So that's something for even people who are monogamous. Shoot, we need contracts, because at the end of the day, marriage is a business. I know it's love and ooh, baby, only you and me, but it is a business. I'm gonna hand this over. I hear some wheels turning. Anybody want to jump in on that? Shoot me down.
No, I agree. Because go ahead, Sheikah.
I like what he said. You have to plan for an exit strategy. Oftentimes, people do not plan for an exit strategy. Now, I believe that commitment is lacking in our communities because there is such a hefty lean on the exit. However, if you're making decisions about exiting before it actually happens, then you can ensure that you're being fair, right? Because now we're not talking about hurt feelings. Oh, I got to leave here because you just acting a fool and I want everything. We're talking about how we're going to do this in the event something should happen. If we just decide we can't, we become dysfunctional. You know what I'm saying? And we can make rational decisions because we're not mad at each other or at war and things like that. And I mean, just everybody needs to think about that. Or if you don't even have that going on, how are you running the house? How are your accounts going to be? I had a friend who had a husband who they had to just split their accounts entirely. I always believe in having your separate accounts. I'm not merging, with anybody because I have issues about money. Okay. I could be honest about that though. How honest are people really being when they sit down and they talk about these things? And I think that people aren't. But yeah, the contract is great, but also know the rules of the contract, having a contract and things you do with the contract, because we see Dr. Dre is getting it now from his lawyer wife, who he did this grand gesture and tore up the contract in front of her, probably thinking, that don't matter, but she's a lawyer. She knew it mattered. And now she's about to get $800 million.
Are you serious?
800 million. Let me address Tim Ra. Peace to Sonetta Studios, the king of consciousness, the GOAT, my heartthrob. Anyway, let me stop. Timra, don't get people locked up. A contract made against the law is void. Now, anybody that knows that's a grown-up, that knows how to go get legal counsel, who knows to get legal advice, knows that no lawyer in the United States that is recognized by the Bar Association would write up a contract saying, and y'all are holy matrimony, and we know what we're talking about when we say contracts. Come on. But I wanted to address that because I'm sure that is very, people would look at that and go, oh, see, this is what I want to say about that. Not trying to beat up on you, Timra. We love you, but let me talk about this. This is the type of comment that would be used against a sister. And not the comment, but like this mindset. A smooth brother who's practicing poly would tell a sister, baby, I love you, but we can't go do it. You want me to go to jail, woman? You know what I mean? No. Be careful, sisters. And thank you, Timra, for being used as an example, because of course you can go get a contract. You just have to know what the wording should be and what type of contract it would be. But yeah, definitely.
Napah, can I speak to that?
Yes,
real
please.
quick?
Please.
All right. Number one, you're dealing with a lawyer. When you're dealing with a lawyer that's certified by the bar, they're going to draw it up where it's in compliance with the laws of the United States or wherever you are, right? The second thing is that I think Sheikah mentioned that men got to be men. And I said, you got to earn that title to be a man and then qualify to even have one wife and then two and then three. And the women need to be holding these brothers to a standard as the brother's going to hold the women to a standard to also be women. So having said that, being a man, you got to know where you're going. How you going to lead and you don't even have no direction? So if you have gotten into a monogamous marriage and then all of a sudden down the line, you decide that you want to be polygamous, you didn't know where you was outstart. You switching gears. And that's not fair to the woman that's got into a monogamous relationship with you that may not want to go that direction. You see, right. And then also families tear each other in court over tear each other up in court over inheritances all the time. So if you're in a relationship with a man that's married to a woman legally, and then you come into that relationship, you're at a disadvantage. You better definitely get some type of paperwork or some type of legal entities and structures set up where you're protected. I recommend if you're going to get into a polygamous relationship, know where you're going from the beginning, and you should not be walking across no bigger monogamous court in this country to make sure that all those women that are in that family structure are protected. If you happen to be in a situation where, okay, you grew, you've gotten more matured, you started off monogamous, you got married, and then you decide now you want to be polygamous, you better make sure that that woman that you're in a monogamous relationship with, that she's in agreement with it. Because if she's not, you're wrong.
I have a question. So basically, and anybody can tell me if I'm wrong, but basically from what I'm hearing, it almost sounds like it would be better to be with a man that's not legally married to any of them. And it's just, you guys all have your contract, your agreement, but nobody's like legally in the system, the wife, because at any point in time, you have to think about it. Women are not always upstanding. They could pretend throughout the entire relationship that they're going to give you what's owed to you. And then as soon as he's deceased, they don't do any of that stuff that they've been pretending that they were going to do.
Right.
Blood families tear each other apart over inheritances. People that are blood family members. So that's really risky business if you're doing that. Now, I'm not saying that it can't be done, but I think if we're going to practice polygamy, a man, if he's going to lead, he needs to know where he's going out the gate. And his job is to protect and provide for them sisters that he's in that relationship with. No sister should be at a legal disadvantage. But if it so happens where you happen to get into a relationship with someone who got married on a monogamous line, but later on that family decide they want to practice polygamy, you better get you some sound legal protection in place.
Right. Definitely. 100%. This is a great topic. Awesome topic, because so many times we talk about the sex side of polygyny and we don't really focus on the legal side. So 100%, that was a good point that you made, Letitia. Ideally, but then also the brother came in and he elaborated on it. Look, in reality, a lot of times the man is married on paper to one woman. And when I say on paper, excuse me, let me clarify, the judicial system, because I got to get back to my brother Tim Mara. He won't let it go because he has to be right, but we're going to have to straighten this out. Oh, okay, honey. All right, got it. So we're going to be closing this stream down soon, but I just want to address what Tim, the brother, says. No, this is the thing, brother. That's why you shouldn't, a person who doesn't know or who may be incriminating himself should never make a contract. Get some sound legal advice and legal assistance, and have a lawyer who has worked in this type of situation. This is just like, ladies and gentlemen, hello. Recently, same-sex marriages just barely became legal in the Obama era. So, I mean, what do you think? Do you think these same-sex marriages haven't been using contracts? Y'all, come on, they have. So
Good
lawyers,
point.
lawyers are familiar with how to draw up a contract for a civil union and to do it legally. Anybody? Well, I just want to say thank you to the panel. Thank you to the brother. Brother, I'm going to go ahead and close out. You definitely, I will get in touch with you. You have great talking points. I appreciate you. Brother, what's your name again? Afro?
That's correct.
Afro, I'm going to have you get in touch with Sonnetter, and I'm going to stay in touch with you because I want to bring you on again even on his platform, hopefully, if he wants to do that, so you can talk more on this. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great points.
I got much love for y'all. 1,000. Thank you.
You have a good evening.
You too.
By the way, head over to Sonnetter. He's going to be having an open call live stream. So after this, I'm going to go over there. But head over there, brother, to Sonnetter Studios. All right. Peace and black power.
Peace.
All right, everyone. Ladies, this was good. I liked it.
Yeah, he came in strong. I like it.
I like the whole stream that we did. I like that it was open. I cannot get out of here.
Great points, Sheikah.
Satan, get me on. Anyway, why can't I see Sheikah?
I got my back massager and it's like doing its job.
Okay, well,
that.
let us know where you can be found, Letitia.
You can find me on Instagram, Melanin Legacy.
Melanin Legacy. The legacy of melanin. Oh, yes,
Facts.
It is very strong.
Facts.
Thank you for joining us, sis. And Sheikah, where can you be found? Tell the people, when are you going to change your YouTube to Sheikah?
When I get back on there. It's Modelation on YouTube, but you can find me on Sheikah Atiba on Facebook.
Thank you, Miss Bird.
Peace and black power, family. I love you so much. Thank you to my chat. I know I'm losing my moderators because they like, we got to go over to the king, the House of Consciousness, because my king is about to start a wonderful stream. I'm going to go over there because I saw him challenge me. We like to do our little debate thing. Anyway, I saw him challenge me. He's joking around. Peace and black power, family. Thank you for joining another stream of Sister Sipdown. We will see you Wednesday with the gas show. We have some topics that we said we're going to cover, right? What did I say we're going to cover? Oh, talking, vocalizing. Anyway, family. Peace and black power. Oh my